So I was taking a look at the Lords of the Fallen store page on Steam, and I ended up running into the system requirements here. And for minimum, they list an i5-8400 and AMD Ryzen 5 2600. So I actually happen to have a Ryzen 5 2600, and I came up with an idea that would probably make for just an interesting video, just for fun, to pair a Ryzen 5 2600, so the minimum CPU with you know, one of the best GPUs, the RX 7900 XTX, and just see how it performs. Why not, right? So I ended up throwing in the Ryzen 5 2600 on my PC. So here it is. We'll take a look at CPU Z here, and we have the Ryzen 5 2600 with 32 gigs of memory that I've had to downclock to 3200 megahertz because it wouldn't boot at 36. It was a little too fast. And then we have the Radeon RX 7900 XTX Nitro Plus with the latest Radeon drivers, 23.10.1, and resizable bar SAM enabled. Let's go into the game. Okay, now that we're in the game, let's go through the settings real quick. We are running the game at 4K with FSR set to quality, and graphics are on the Ultra preset. Okay, now let's see what we're getting with the Ryzen 2600. So I've also added the 1% lows so that we can see what the frame time quality is like. So right now, sitting here, it's actually a lot better than I thought it would be, honestly. These Unreal Engine 5 games are pretty CPU demanding, but why don't we make our way forward and get into some combat and see how this works. Okay, so frame time is not great while we were fighting those enemies. The game got patched today, actually. Those guys' accuracy was nerfed if it's further away than 50 meters. I think it said on the patch notes, which makes sense because those guys were lethal, man. Oh my god, I've been hit by those guys so many times. Okay, so it looks like once we get into combat, the frame time drops quite a bit, so it's not great performance, but I mean, it seems to be it's playable, definitely, but not great. Not great. Let's go into the Umbral world, or the plane, because that's where the game gets quite a bit more demanding, although that should be on the GPU. We'll see. I mean, we've been CPU bottlenecked this whole time, obviously. We're using a Ryzen 7900 XTX, which is a very, very powerful GPU. One of the best. Yeah, that doesn't feel great. Frame time is dropping. So, yeah, so maybe that minimum system requirements, maybe that's based off 30 FPS. Because if you lock this at 30, it would be fine, because our 1% lows are at 30. But I don't know. I don't think I could play this type of game at 30 frames per second. No way. It would feel sluggish. I hate these things. Oh my god, did she like puke all over me or something? Alright, we got her. Yeah, this game is nuts with NPCs, man. There's just so many of them. I don't know. Like, sometimes it just feels so frustrating. I mean, I'm no Souls junkie of any kind. I've played a little bit of Dark Souls 1. I played a bunch of Elden Ring. I thought that game was great. I've played The Surge. I like that. I liked Wulong. I thought that was really good. Actually, I do like parrying more than I like dodging. But this game, I like this game. I really like the artwork. I think it looks great. The enemy design is great. The world design is pretty cool. I do enjoy it. I think the sound is fine. It's an immersive game, right? but sometimes it's just so many enemies that it just feels frustrating, if I'm being completely honest. It just does. And it just can be overwhelming sometimes. Like, look at this area here, how many enemies there are here. It's crazy. I played Lies of P for a little bit as well, and I don't remember that game having, like, I don't know how to explain it. It just seems like they went crazy with the amount of enemies that they put in the game in some of these areas, like especially this area here. So let's transition here to the regular realm. The game's definitely playable, I feel. I mean, the 1% lows aren't great. It's like half of what the normal frame rate is, so I don't think it's great. But it's definitely playable. I mean, it's a crazy hardware combination. But then again, we're just doing it just out of curiosity, and that's it basically. Nobody would pair a Ryzen 2600 with I wish those guys would just run overboard. That'd be so much easier. See, like, how do you even take out all these enemies, right? You have to, like, take them out one at a time and just run around like a prick. And even, like, changing targets can sometimes be very frustrating because there's so many enemies that... I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, but Ryzen 2600 is actually doing better than I thought it would be, to be honest. Oh my god, that hurt. Okay, we got him. We got him. I think we need some type of a heal. There we go. My last heal. Wow. Yeah, we're done. Well, this was just a silly idea that I came up with. I figured it would be entertaining just to look at the minimum CPU with a really powerful GPU. I don't know, like, no one's gonna pair a Ryzen 2600 with a 7900 XTX, right? But it's just for fun, just to check it out. And I don't know, if you guys want, I can probably take a look at the RX 580 with the 2600. That way it'll be the minimum of the minimum. And I was also thinking of maybe checking the 4090 with the 7900 XTX and the Ryzen 2600. That would probably make for an interesting video, because just to see how much the NVIDIA CPU overhead would put the 4090 at a disadvantage. It didn't actually do that in Starfield, but I would be curious to know how that would work with Unreal Engine 5. So maybe I can work on that as well. I don't know. We'll see. If you guys have any ideas, leave them below. I'd really appreciate it. I like when I hear suggestions from you guys. But anyways, I hope you like the video and have a great day. Thank you.